Now's the time to rock like we do.
Gimme, 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 gimme.
Welcome to an exciting adventure on the A.C.E Cardinale network. Get ready to embark on a captivating journey to the heart of South America, as we explore the wonders of life in the Amazon. Join your host, A.C.E Cardinale, as he navigates the majestic Amazon River and the lush rainforest, uncovering the secrets of this diverse ecosystem. Discover the unique mammals like the elusive jaguar and the playful capybara, encounter the formidable reptiles such as the anaconda and caiman, and delve into the mysterious waters teeming with piranhas and freshwater stingrays. Tune in now to learn everything about the Amazon's incredible wildlife and immerse yourself in the beauty and intrigue of this natural paradise. Let the adventure begin. Welcome to another Amazonian adventure with Aqua A.C.E. It's the first life in Amazon of 2025 and the A.C.E network era. Today, we embark on an exciting journey to the heart of South America as we explore the Amazon River and rainforest during its mesmerizing wet season. Discover when this season unfolds and what incredible transformations it brings to the landscape. Dive into the thriving ecosystems where certain animals flourish amid the abundant rains, while others face unique challenges. Join us as we uncover the fascinating dynamics of life in the Amazon during this vibrant time of year. Don't miss out on this captivating exploration of nature's wonders.
Good evening, everyone, and welcome to Life in the Amazon here on the A.C.E Cardinale Network. I'm your host, A.C.E Cardinale. Tonight, we are traveling to South America and the Amazon River and rainforest to learn about the wet season in South America. On the last episode of Life in the Amazon, we talked about the dry season. Tonight, we're talking about the wet season. Find out all about the wet season, what the wet season brings to South America, and how the wet season transforms the Amazon rainforest and the Amazon River, and more importantly, find out how the animals in South America adapt to the wet season, including mammals, reptiles, birds, and lastly, fish. There are multiple fish species that adapt to the wet season in South America. So in the second part of tonight's show, we're going to talk about how fish have evolved to adapt in the wet season. But to kick us off, we're going to learn about the wet season and how animals, mammals, birds, and reptiles adapt to the wet season. So I thank you all for tuning in, and I hope you guys enjoy the show. Please hit that like button and subscribe for more awesome videos. Let's go ahead and get started. Here is some information all about the wet season. So, the Amazon rainforest wet season is from December to May, when the region receives the most rain. The wet season is also known as the high water season. So right now, the Amazon rainforest is in the wet season. What happens during the wet season? Rainfall. The wet season receives the most rain, with some months seeing over 8 inches of rain. Water levels. Water levels in rivers, creeks, and lakes rise due to snow melt in the Andes. Flooding. The forest is often flooded, making it difficult to walk and hike. Activities. Water-based activities like canoeing, kayaking, and cruising are popular. What's the best time to visit during the wet season? Well, during the wet season, there are fewer tourists. The wet season is less crowded, so you might find better deals on flights and hotels. Water-based activities. The high water levels make it a great time for canoeing, kayaking, and cruising. And that is all about the wet season in South America. Now, here is what you can expect during the wet season in South America. The wet season in South America is a significant climatic period that greatly influences the continent's diverse ecosystems, agriculture, and daily life. This season, often referred to as the rainy season, varies in timing and intensity across different regions of South America. Timing of the wet season. The timing of the wet season in South America depends largely on geographical location. Generally, the wet season occurs in the Amazon basin. The wet season typically spans from November to May. This region experiences intense rainfall due to its equilateral location. Andes Mountains. The rain seasons can vary, but it is usually from December to March. Southern Brazil and the Pampas. Here, the wet season occurs from October to March. Tropical regions of northern South America. The wet season often lasts from May to November. So right now in South America, it is currently the wet season. Environmental changes. During the wet season, South America undergoes significant environmental transformations. Increased rainfall. Amazon rainforest. The Amazon receives abundant rainfall, which replenishes its vast network of rivers and floods the forest floor, creating a unique aquatic ecosystem. Rivers and waterways. Major rivers like the Amazon and the Cardinale swell significantly, sometimes causing flooding that can impact human settlements. Vegetation growth. Luscious greenery. The increased precipitation supports the growth of dense vegetation, promoting lush green landscapes across the continent. Biodiversity boost. The wet conditions are ideal for many plant and animal species, leading to a surge in biodiversity as flora and fauna thrive. Weather patterns. Humidity and temperature. The wet season is characterized by high humidity and warm temperatures, which can make the climate feel more oppressive, but also sustain the tropical ecosystems. Storms and tropical rains. Sudden heavy rain showers and thunderstorms are common, contributing to the dynamic weather patterns of the region. Impacts on human activity. The wet season impacts various aspects of human life in South America. Agriculture, crop growth. The abundant rainfall is beneficial for crops such as rice, soybeans, and maize. Farmers rely on the wet season for successful harvest. Challenges. Excessive rainfall can lead to soil erosion and flooding, which may pose challenges to agricultural practices. Daily life, transportation, flooded roads and swollen rivers can disrupt transportation and logistics, making travel challenging in some areas. Urban areas, cities may experience drainage issues, leading to temporary flooding and requiring robust infrastructure to manage excess water. Tourism, tourist activities. Some regions see a decline in tourist activities due to the wet conditions, while others, like the Amazon, attract visitors interested in experiencing the unique environment during the rainy season. In summary, the wet season in South America is a dynamic and transformative period that influences both the natural environment and human activities across the continent. Understanding its timing and effects is crucial for preparing and adapting to the changes it brings. So generally speaking, what we just talked about, the wet season occurs from November all the way through May in some areas, and it may end in March in some areas of South America. But like I said earlier, right now it is currently the wet season in South America. And now that we know what the wet season is and what you can expect for the wet season, let's talk about the fauna, the wildlife that lives in South America and the Amazon River and the Amazon rainforest. How does the wet season affect animals? What kind of challenges do animals face during the wet season? Right now, let's answer that question. What challenges do animals face during the wet season? Which animals face the toughest challenges during the wet season? The wet season in South America, particularly in regions like the Amazon rainforest, presents unique challenges for various animal species. While the abundance of rain transforms the landscape into a lush environment, it also creates difficulties for some creatures. Here are the animals that face tough challenges during the wet season. Terrestrial mammals, jaguars and pumas. These large cats rely on dry land for hunting. During the wet season, their territories can become flooded, making it difficult to find prey and navigate their environment. Capybara. Although semi-aquatic, capybara can face increased predation risk at raising waters, force them into smaller areas, making them more vulnerable. Ground-dwelling birds, such as the southern screamer. These birds build nests on the ground or in low vegetation. Flooding can destroy their nesting sites, reducing their reproductive success. Tinamonids. Ground nesting birds like Tinamonids may find their nest inundated, leading to loss of eggs and chicks. Reptiles and amphibians. Caiman. While caiman are well adapted to water, extreme flooding can displace them from their usual habitats and increase competition for resources. Frogs and toads. Although amphibians thrive in wet conditions, excessive water can wash away eggs and tadpoles, impacting population levels. Insects, leafcutter ants. Heavy rains can flood their underground nest, causing colony disruption. Butterflies. Prolonged wet conditions may reduce the availability of sunlight necessary for their activity, affecting feeding and mating behaviors. Adaptations and survival strategies. Despite these challenges, many animals have developed remarkable adaptations to survive the wet season. This includes migration. Some species, like certain bird types, migrate to drier areas to avoid the worst impacts of flooding. Behavioral challenges and behavioral changes. Animals may alter their feeding or breeding behaviors to cope with environmental changes. Habitat use. Utilization of elevated areas or trees can help species avoid floodwaters. In conclusion, the wet season in South America presents significant challenges for many animal species. However, their resilience and adaptability often shine through, allowing them to survive and thrive in these dynamic ecosystems. So those are just some of the animals that face challenge during the wet season. Now we're going to talk about how animals adapt to the wet season in South America. So how do animals adapt to South America? Adaptations of animals to the wet season in South America. The wet season in South America, especially in regions like the Amazon rainforest and other tropical areas, bring significant changes in the environment. Many animals have evolved unique adaptations to cope and thrive during this time of abundance and challenge. Here are some of the key ways animals adapt to the wet season. Migration. Birds. Many bird species migrate to areas with suitable breeding conditions during the wet season. This movement helps them take advantage of the increased availability of food resources such as insects and fruits. Fish. Some fish species, like the Amazonian tambaqui, also known as the black pacu, migrate to floodplain forests to feed and spawn, taking advantage of the expanded habitat. Breeding. Amphibians. The wet season is a prime time for breeding among amphibians. Frogs and toads, for example, lay their eggs in temporary pools formed by the rain, providing a safe environment for their offspring. Reptiles. Certain reptiles, like the green anaconda, which, by the way, is my favorite South American snake, also breed during the wet season where their prey is more abundant. So this time of year, the green and yellow anaconda are breeding, and they're giving birth to live young. Physical adaptations, waterproofing and installation. Mammals. Animals such as the capybara have water-repellent fur that helps them stay dry and warm during heavy rains. Their fur also provides insulation against cooler temperatures. Birds. Many birds have oil glands that produce waterproofing oils, keeping their feathers dry and functional even in heavy rain. Enhanced mobility. Insects. Some insects develop elongated limbs or wings to navigate flooded environments. This adaptation aids in finding food and avoiding predators. Fish and aquatic animals. Species such as the piranha and electric eel are well adapted to swimming in strong currents brought by the rainy season, allowing them to hunt more effectively. Ecological adaptations. Resource utilization. Frugivores. Fruit-eating animals, like many species of bats and monkeys, benefit from the increased availability of ripe fruits during the wet season. Carnivores. Predators often find it easier to catch prey as animals congregate around shrinking patches of dry land or areas with less cover. Habitat adaptation. Aquatic and semi-aquatic animals. Animals such as the caiman adapt by utilizing flooded areas for hunting and hiding from predators. The expanded aquatic habitat provides new opportunities for feeding and nesting. Conclusion. The wet season in South America presents both challenges and opportunities for wildlife. Through a combination of behavioral, physical, and ecological adaptations, many animals have evolved strategies that allow them to not only survive, but to flourish during this dynamic period. These adaptations highlight the incredible resilience and diversity of life in one of the world's most vibrant ecosystems. So that is how animals adapt to the wet season. And now we're going to break down how animals adapt to the wet season in South America with the different animal groups. We're going to learn how mammals adapt to the wet season, reptiles, and birds. And then we're going to talk about some animals that are scientifically and specifically known for the wet season. But first, let's talk about how mammals adjust during the wet season. The wet season in South America, particularly in regions like the Amazon rainforest, brings about significant changes in the environment. Mammals in these areas have developed a variety of adaptations to cope with the challenges and opportunities presented by this season. Migration. Some mammals, such as certain species of bats, migrate to areas with more stable conditions during the wet season. This movement helps them avoid flooded habitats and find reliable food sources. Foraging changes. Mammals like the capybara, the world's largest rodent, take advantage of the abundant water. They are excellent swimmers and may spend more time in water, which helps them avoid predators and access aquatic plants. Breeding strategies. Many mammals take their breeding cycles to coincide with the wet season. The increased availability of food and water ensures that mothers have enough resources to support their young. For instance, the giant river otter often gives birth during this time to take advantage of the plentiful fish supply. Physical adaptation. Water-resistant fur. Mammals such as the jaguar and the Brazilian tapir have dense water-resistant fur that helps protect them from constant moisture, reducing the risk of hypothermia and skin affections. Webbed feet. Some mammals have developed physical traits like webbed feet to aid in swimming. The capybara and the giant otter are examples of species with this adaptation, allowing them to navigate flooded environments efficiently. Increased size. Larger body sizes in some mammals can be very adventurous during the wet season. For instance, the tapir size helps it move through flooded areas without being swept away by currents. Habitat and diet adjustments. Diet flexibility. Many mammals have flexible diets that allow them to take advantage of the seasonal abundance of certain food types. The jaguar, for example, often preys on fish and reptiles during the wet season when these prey are more accessible. So during the wet season, the jaguars will actually prey on caimans. They usually prey on yucca-tear caiman, speckled caiman, and sometimes juvenile black caiman. They'll also prey on juvenile anacondas and sometimes even large anacondas and fish. So the jaguar is an interesting Panthera species, and it's actually my favorite of the large cats. Habitat use. Mammals like the spectacled bear may move to higher ground to avoid flooding. They can access different food resources in these areas, showcasing their versatility in habitat use. Shelter seeking. Some mammals, such as the armadillo, dig burrows or seek shelter in tree hollows to stay dry during heavy rains. These shelters provide protection from both predators and adverse weather conditions. In summary, the mammals of South America have evolved a variety of behavioral, physical, and ecological adaptations to thrive during the wet season. These adaptations ensure their survival and reproductive success in a challenging and dynamic environment. All right, so that's how mammals adjust to the wet season in South America. Now let's go to our cold-blooded friends and learn how the reptiles adjust to the wet season. Reptiles in South America have developed a range of fascinating adaptations to thrive during the wet season, a period characterized by increased rainfall and flooding. These adaptations ensure their survival and reproductive success in a dynamic and often challenging environment. Behavioral adaptations, increased activity levels. During the wet season, many reptiles exhibit increased activity levels. The abundance of water and food resources, such as insects and small mammals, encourages reptiles to become more active in foraging and hunting. This increase in activity can lead to better growth rate and improved reproductive success. Migration and movement. Some reptiles, like certain snake species, may migrate to higher ground or more favorable habitats when their usual environments become inundated. This behavior ensures they avoid prolonged exposure to water, which can be detrimental to their health. Psychological adaptations, enhanced water retention. Reptiles have developed psychological mechanisms to retain water efficiently. This is particularly important during the wet season when fluctuating water levels can lead to periods of scarcity. Specialized skin structures reduce water loss, and some reptiles can reabsorb water from their waste products. Temperature regulation. The wet season can bring cooler temperatures, and reptiles, being ectothermic, rely on external heat sources to regulate their body temperature. Many species bask in the sun when it's available to maintain optimal body temperatures for metabolism and digestion. Reproductive adaptations. Synchronization of breeding. The wet season often coincides with the breeding season for many reptiles. As we learned moments ago, anacondas take advantage of the wet season. Anacondas will breed during the wet season, so won't caimans. The abundance of food and water creates ideal conditions for raising young. Reptiles often synchronize their reproductive cycles with the wet season to take advantage of these conditions, ensuring higher survival rates for their offspring. Nesting strategies. Some reptiles, such as turtles, lay their eggs during the wet season in nests built on higher grounds to prevent flooding. This strategic nesting behavior ensures that the eggs are safe from being washed away and have a higher chance of hatching successfully. Ecological interactions, predation and competition. The wet season can alter the dynamics of predation and competition among reptiles. The increased availability of resources can lead to reduced competition and predation pressure as animals spread out over larger areas to exploit the rich environment. Symbiotic relationships. Certain reptiles engage in symbiotic relationships with other organisms during the wet season. For example, some lizards may form mutualistic relationships with ants or birds where they offer protection in exchange for food resources. In summary, reptiles in South America exhibit a diverse array of behavioral, psychological, reproductive, and ecological adaptations that allow them to thrive during the wet season. These adaptations underscore the resilience and versatility of reptiles in the face of environmental changes. All right, so now we're going to learn about how birds adapt to the wet season. So let's learn, how do birds adapt to the wet season? Migration patterns. Many bird species in South America have adapted to the wet season through migration. During the wetter months, some birds migrate to areas where food resources are more readily available and nesting conditions are optimal. For example, Amazonian birds. Some species migrate vertically within the forest layers, moving from flooded lowlands to higher, drier areas. Andean birds. Birds from the Andes might move to lower altitudes to escape harsher weather conditions and to find food. Breeding and nesting. The wet season can also be a prolific time for breeding due to the abundance of food. Birds have adapted their breeding cycles to align with this season. Nesting sites. Many species choose nesting sites that are elevated or in areas less prone to flooding. For example, building nests in tree canopies help avoid rising water levels. Timing. Birds may time their breeding to coincide with peak insect populations, ensuring that their chicks have abundant food. Diet and foraging. The increase in rainfall leads to a rise in food availability, particularly insects and fruits. Birds adapt their foraging strategies to take advantage of these resources. Increased insect activity. Rain often leads to a boom in insect populations, providing ample food for insectivorous birds. Fruit availability. Many trees and plants produce fruits during the wet season, offering a rich diet for frugivorous birds such as macaws, parrots, and toucans. Physical adaptations. Some birds have developed physical traits to help them cope with the wet conditions. Waterproof feathers. Birds such as ducks and other waterfowl have specialized feathers coated with oils to repel water. Longer legs. Wading birds use their longer legs to forage in flooded areas without getting fully submerged. Behavioral changes. Behavioral adaptations are also crucial for survival during the wet season. Birds will use increased vocalization. With the dense foliage and increased ambient noise from rain, birds often call more frequently to communicate with mates and establish territories. Social behavior. Some species form larger flocks to forage more effectively and protect each other from predators. By employing these adaptive strategies, birds in South America successfully navigate the challenges of the wet season, ensuring their survival and continuation of their species. So now we learned how animals, mammals, reptiles, and birds adapt to the wet season. Now we're going to find out which animals are the ultimate opportunist in the wet season. What animals take advantage of the dry season? Let's talk about that right now. The wet season in South America, particularly in regions like the Amazon rainforest and the Cardinale, brings a surge of life and activity as many animals take advantage of the abundant water and resources. During this time, amphibians such as frogs and toads thrive, using the increased rainfall to breed and lay eggs in the plentiful water bodies. Fish populations also flourish, benefiting from the expanded water systems that allow for easier movement and access to food. Birds, including various species of herons and egrets, take advantage of the abundance of fish and insects, making the most of the feeding opportunities. Additionally, mammals like capybara and jaguar find the lush environment ideal for foraging and hunting. The wet season is a critical time for many species, offering a brief window of abundance that supports the rich biodiversity of these ecosystems. And now it's time to talk about the animals that are made famous during the wet season. The first animal that is made famous during the wet season, the poison dart frog. And the poison dart frog is a really cool animal, cool reptile from South America. We're going to do an entire episode dedicated to poison dart frogs in the future. Now, poison dart frogs are remarkably adapted to handle the wet season in their native South American habitats. During this time, the rainforest becomes lush and humid, creating an ideal environment for these amphibians. The increased rainfall leads to an abundance of water sources, which is crucial for the frogs' reproductive cycle as they lay their eggs in moist environments or directly in water. Additionally, the wet season results in a surge of insect populations, providing an ample food supply for the frogs. The moisture also helps keep their skin hydrated, which is vital for their survival as they rely on continuous respiration. These adaptations, combined with their vibrant coloration that serves as a warning to predators, allow poison dart frogs to thrive in the dynamic conditions of the wet season. Another popular animal that lives in South America that thrives during the wet season is the macaw. How do macaws handle the wet season? Macaws, like many tropical birds, have developed several adaptations to thrive during the wet season. Native to the rainforest of Central and South America, these vibrant birds are well accustomed to plenty of rain and high humidity. During the wet season, macaws often take advantage of the abundance of food resources, as the rain can lead to a surge in fruit and seed availability. They are also skilled at finding sheltered spots in the dense canopy to protect themselves from heavy downpours. Additionally, their strong, curved beaks are perfect for cracking open tough seeds and nuts that become more accessible during this time. Social behavior also plays a role, as macaws often gather in large flocks, which can provide safety and support during challenging weather conditions. Their colorful plumage is not just for show, it also acts as a natural raincoat with feathers that repel water to keep them dry. And there we have it. We have just learned about animals and how they adapt to the wet season, and we learned about two animals from the wet season that are known particularly because of the wet season, and that is the poison dart frog and macaws. Well, coming up next here on Life in the Amazon, episode 56, the wet season in South America, it's all about our aquatic friends. It's all about fish from the Amazon River. How do fish adopt to the wet season? How does fish thrive during the wet season? We're going to talk about that next here on Life in the Amazon, but we're going to take a quick intermission. So don't go anywhere, because coming up next, learn about fish and how they adapt to the wet season. But first, we've got a message from the Alex Cardinale Network about some special upcoming live streams. And of course, we're going to hear from Life in Africa sponsor Oasis Aquatics. We're back with more right after this, folks. Don't go anywhere.
Hey there, amazing viewers. Are you ready for some exciting updates? First up, we are thrilled to announce our historic 11-year YouTube anniversary. Join us for a spectacular celebration filled with special guests, fun surprises, and a nostalgic look back at our incredible journey together. You won't want to miss it. But that's not all. We're also launching an exclusive line of Alex Cardinale Network merchandise. From stylish tees to cozy hoodies, you can now wear your support with pride. Head over to our official website to grab your favorite items before they sell out. Stay tuned, because the show will continue right after these brief messages. So don't go anywhere, we'll be right back with more awesome content.
Are you looking to add a new tropical fish species to your collection, but tired of the same old bread and butter selection at your local fish store? Do you want a rare tropical fish species shipped straight to your door? Look no further. Oasis Aquatics is here to help you find your oasis. What is Oasis Aquatics, you ask? We are a New Jersey-based importer, breeder, and distributor. of the world's finest tropical fish. With over 20 years of fish keeping and breeding experience, we strive to share our passion with the community. Over the past decade, we have made contacts all over the world to get us the most rare, unique, and high-quality fish available. Here at Oasis, we dedicate all of our time to caring for the fish and coral we bring in. Not a single fish, frag, colony, or invertebrate leaves our facility without being quarantined, preventatively medicated, and fattened up. Our fish go through rigorous inspection and top-notch care. Over the years, we have found that nothing can replace the love and passion that we have for our animals. From newly imported species, to monster fish, to oddballs that you won't find anywhere else, we have it all. Find your Oasis. Why should I order from Oasis Aquatics? Ordering live tropical fish online is a safe and rewarding experience for several reasons. First, as a reputable seller, we specialize in the care and shipping of live fish, ensuring they are healthy and well packaged for transit. Second, we can provide detailed care instructions and support at any time, helping you create the perfect environment for your new pets. Additionally, shopping online with us gives you access to a variety of species that may not be available at local stores. Trust us, this is the best place to order live tropical fish for a vibrant and thriving aquarium. Our love for our animals and passion for the hobby sets us apart. From individualized care, quarantine and medication regimens, to daily health checks, we take the time to make sure our animals thrive. Check out our stock list and everything else you need to know by going to Oasis Aquatics, online.com. That's Oasis Aquatics, online.com.
Dive into the world of fish and pet kingdom. Are you passionate about animals, tropical fish, or both? If you answered yes to any of these, then our Facebook group is the perfect place for you. Fish and Pet Kingdom is a vibrant community that welcomes tropical fish enthusiasts from every corner of the globe, whether you are into freshwater or saltwater aquariums. But that's not all. We embrace all pet lovers, whether you have dogs, cats, reptiles, birds, or small mammals. Even if you simply adore animals, you're invited to join our friendly community. Connect with fellow animal lovers, share your cherished fish and pets, and engage in lively discussions. Have a tropical fish or pet YouTube channel? Feel free to share your videos, something you won't find in many other groups. We can't wait to welcome you. Visit us at facebook.com/groups/tropicalfish and Pet Kingdom, or simply search for Fish and Pet Kingdom on Facebook. Join us today and be part of our amazing community.
Tune in for the next exciting episode of Cichlid Talk. Thursday, February 6, 2025, at 8 p.m. Eastern and 5 p.m. Pacific, join cichlid stud Alex Cardinale as he dives into the vibrant world of South and Central American cichlids. Discover the unique characteristics and care requirements of these fascinating fish, and learn how they differ across various regions. Whether you're a seasoned aquarist or just starting your cichlid journey, this episode is packed with valuable insights and tips to enhance your cichlid keeping experience. Don't miss the chance to expand your fish keeping knowledge and ask your burning questions during the live stream. Streaming live February 6th at 8 p.m. Eastern 5 p.m. Pacific on Alex Cardinale Network YouTube channel.
Show your support for the Alex Cardinale Network in style, introducing the official A.C.E Network merchandise store, your one-stop shop for all things Alex Cardinale. Whether you're sipping your morning coffee from a branded mug, staying hydrated with our sleek tumbler cups, or staying cozy in our stylish t-shirts and sweaters, you'll be representing the A.C.E Network wherever you go. But that's not all. Our store is also the exclusive home for Oasis Aquatics merchandise, helping you find your oasis and show your aquatic pride. Plus, celebrate our hit shows like Saturday Live with Alex Cardinale and Aquatic Wetline with unique merch. Every purchase supports the show, and Alex Cardinale will personally thank you with a customized letter and video. Visit us at therealalexcardinaleshop.fourthwall.com or search The Real Alex Cardinale or A.C.E Network Fourth Wall on Google to find your favorite items today.
Support your favorite show. Are you a fan of our incredible show and want to help keep the magic alive? Consider making a donation today. Every cent you contribute will directly support Alex and the production of the show, as well as exciting events hosted on the A.C.E network. Your generosity will not go unnoticed. For every donation, you'll receive a customized appreciation letter as our heartfelt thanks for your support. Donating is easy. Simply send your contribution via Cash App to our tag $AlexCard1993. That's $AlexCard1993. Join us in making our show even better and ensuring more amazing content for you to enjoy. Thank you for your kind support.
Get ready for a thrilling and historic debut of Saturday Live with Alex Cardinale on February 1st, 2025. Broadcasting at a special start time of 3 p.m. Eastern/12 noon Pacific, this first ever Royal Rumble Saturday Live promises to be an exciting prelude to the WWE Royal Rumble 2025. Devoted WWE fan, Alex Cardinale, will gear up wrestling enthusiasts with an in-depth preview of the event and share his predictions for the winners of the Royal Rumble matches. Alex's Top 10 segment will spotlight the most memorable Royal Rumble victories and comebacks, providing intriguing facts along the way. But that's not all. The show will also feature fascinating insights on General Motors and Toshiba, highlight the ocelot as the animal of the week, and shine the Oasis Aquatic spotlight on the sun catfish. Plus, discover what videos Alex will recommend watching. Don't miss this exciting live event on the Alex Cardinale Network on YouTube. Exciting announcement! Join us for a special episode of the Alex Cardinale Network streaming live on Monday, February 3rd, 2025, at 6 p.m. Eastern/3 p.m. Pacific on our YouTube channel. Dive deep into the world of aquatics with an exclusive interview featuring the owner of Oasis Aquatics, Tom McGuire. Don't miss this fun and friendly chat as Tom sits down with his friend, Alex Cardinale, to share his passion for fish keeping and reveal his other fascinating hobbies. Want to know more about Tom? Engage with us live and ask your burning questions in the chat. Mark your calendars and get ready for an insightful and entertaining evening. We can't wait to see you all there.
Valentine's Day is the perfect opportunity to express your love through the art of culinary delights. And Chef Alex Cardinale has just the event to make this possible. The 2025 Valentine's Recipe Throwdown promises to be an exciting culinary journey, offering an array of delightful recipes that cater to every meal of the day. From the savory indulgence of Philly cheesesteak eggs Benedict and the sweet comfort of red velvet waffles for breakfast, to the sophisticated flavors of veal parmesan for dinner, your culinary skills are set to impress. And for dessert, the decadent lava cake and the irresistible cannoli cookies await to sweeten your romantic evening. Tune in on Friday, February 7th, 2025, at 6 p.m. Eastern, 3 p.m. Pacific on the Alex Cardinale Network on YouTube for a live recipe demo that will guide you every step of the way. With Chef Alex's expert guidance, you'll create a memorable Valentine's Day experience that your significant other will cherish.
As the excitement builds for Super Bowl 59, fans across the nation are gearing up for the much-anticipated rematch between the NFC champion Philadelphia Eagles and the AFC champion Kansas City Chiefs. This thrilling showdown will unfold in the vibrant city of New Orleans on Sunday, February 9, 2025, with kickoff slated for 6:30 p.m. Eastern Time, 3:30 p.m. Pacific Time, exclusively on Fox. Ahead of the game, make sure to tune into the Super Bowl 59 pre-show on the Alex Cardinale Network, where Buccaneers fan Alex Cardinale will guide you through all the pre-game excitement starting at 3 p.m. ET/12 noon PT. Alex will break down how both teams navigated their way to the final and outline the critical strategies that could dictate the outcome. An all-star panel of football fans will also be on hand to make bold predictions. After the curtain falls on what is sure to be a spectacular game, join Alex once more for the post-game show at 11 p.m. Eastern Time, 8 p.m. Pacific Time to get the latest reactions and insights, and to find out who will hoist the coveted Vince Lombardi trophy. Don't miss the action-packed coverage on the Alex Cardinale Network. The Super Bowl 59 pre-show and post-show are presented by Saturday Live with Alex Cardinale.
Celebrate love with the Alex Cardinale Network this Valentine's Day. On Friday, February 14th, 2025, join the charming and charismatic sexy boy Alex Cardinale for an unforgettable Valentine's Day 2025 live event. Presented by Saturday Live, this special show promises to be a delightful blend of entertainment, knowledge, and fun. Tune in to discover fascinating Valentine's Day facts, get insights into Alex's admiration for certain men and women, and explore the best activities to make your Valentine's weekend truly special. Plus, uncover which Valentine's candy tops the list this year. The event will also feature exciting appearances from Chef Alex, Detective Alex, and Aqua Alex, each adding their own unique flair to the celebration. Don't miss out on this romantic extravaganza. Streaming live at 6 p.m. Eastern and 3 p.m. Pacific on the Alex Cardinale Network on YouTube. Mark your calendars and join the festivities.
You're invited to Alex Cardinale's 11th anniversary bash. Join us for a stupendous two-night live stream extravaganza as Alex Cardinale celebrates 11 incredible years on YouTube. Mark your calendars for Thursday, April 24th, and Friday, April 25th, 2025, as we embark on a virtual vacation filled with fun, friendship, and unforgettable moments. On Thursday, Alex will take you on an exciting journey to New Jersey, where you'll meet a new friend and explore the wonders of Oasis Aquatics. Then on Friday, we return to the sunshine of Florida to celebrate at home with even more surprises and special guests. Don't miss out on this epic celebration. Tune in at 8 p.m. Eastern, 5 p.m. Pacific on the Alex Cardinale Network. Join us for an unforgettable evening as Alex Cardinale kicks off night one of the 11-year YouTube bash from vibrant Warren County, New Jersey. For the very first time, Alex ventures beyond state lines to bring you an extraordinary live show from Hackettstown. This exciting event promises a whirlwind of activities, including captivating airplane ride vlogs and an exclusive tour of New Jersey's hidden gems. Get ready to meet Tom McGuire, the passionate owner of Oasis Aquatics, and explore the mesmerizing fish room that has captivated aquatic enthusiasts everywhere. This night is packed with excitement, camaraderie, and insights you won't want to miss. Tune in to the Alex Cardinale Network on YouTube on Thursday, April 24th, 2025 at 8 p.m. Eastern, 5 p.m. Pacific, and be part of this milestone celebration. Get ready for an exciting conclusion to the 11-year YouTube bash with Night 2 taking place in beautiful South Florida. Join Alex as he hosts a thrilling live stream on the Alex Cardinale Network, packed with engaging segments and special appearances. Dive into an adventure as Alex takes you on a virtual tour of the local zoo and aquarium, offering a close-up look at fascinating wildlife. Food enthusiasts can look forward to a mouth-watering restaurant review, while Aqua Alex will showcase any new fish he has added to his collection. The evening will also feature special guests and entertaining appearances by Chef Alex and Detective Alex, promising a fun-filled night for viewers. Tune in on Friday, April 25th, 2025 at 8 p.m. Eastern, 5 p.m. Pacific for an unforgettable live stream experience.
Welcome back to Life in the Amazon. Tonight we're talking about the wet season in South America. And before our intermission, we learned about the wet season and how animals, mammals, birds, and reptiles adapted to the wet season. And we learned about the wet season's famous animals from South America. We learned about the poison dart frog and the macaw. Now we're going to talk about fish and how fish adapt to the wet season, which fish benefit from the wet season, and then we're going to talk about other fish that are popular during the wet season as well. All right. So now we are going to go ahead and start talking about tropical fish from South America and how they adapt to the wet season. So, how do fish adapt to the wet season? Well, the wet season in South America is a period of substantial rainfall, leading to increased water levels in rivers, lakes, and floodplains. Many fish species have evolved unique adaptations to thrive during this time. Below are some ways fish handle the wet season. Increased habitat and food availability. During the wet season, rivers and lakes often overflow, flooding adjacent forest and plains. This creates vast new areas of habitat for fish. The increase in water volume provides more space and resources, leading to several benefits. Expanded range. Fish can explore new areas, which may help reduce competition for resources. Abundant food. Flooded areas bring in nutrients and organic matter, supporting the growth of plankton and insects, which serve as food for fish. Breeding opportunities. The wet season is a crucial time for reproduction for many fish species. Spawning grounds. The increased water levels provide access to new spawning sites, often in areas with ample vegetation that offer protection for eggs and fry. Synchronization. Many fish species time their reproductive cycles to coincide with the wet season, ensuring their young have abundant food and optimal growth conditions. Adaptations for survival. Fish have developed various psychological and behavioral adaptations to survive the challenges of the wet season. Migration. Some fish species, like the Amazonian tambaqui and the flag-tailed procholotus, migrate to flooded areas to feed and breed. These movements can cover vast distances and are often synchronized with the rising water levels. Oxygen adaptations. Flooded waters can sometimes have low oxygen levels. Fish, like the Arapaima, have developed the ability to breathe atmospheric air, allowing them to survive in oxygen-poor waters. And resilience to predators. The dense vegetation in flooded areas provides hiding spots from predators, while some fish might also change their coloration or behavior to avoid detection. Challenges and threats. Despite the benefits, the wet season also presents challenges for fish. Displacement. Rapidly changing water levels can displace fish from their preferred habitats, leading to increased energy expenditure as they navigate new environments. Predation. The abundance of fish attracts predators, both aquatic and terrestrial, creating a dangerous environment for smaller fish and juveniles. Overall, the wet season in South America is a dynamic period for aquatic life, offering both opportunities and challenges. The diverse adaptations of fish to these conditions highlight the complexity and resilience of ecosystems in the region. So, what fish benefit from the wet season? Practically many fish benefit from the wet season. Almost all fish benefit from the wet season. The wet season in South America, particularly in the Amazon basin, creates a dynamic and fertile environment for various fish species. The influx of rainforest significantly impacts the aquatic ecosystems, providing numerous benefits for fish. Here are some fish species that thrive during this period. Arapaima. The arapaima is the largest fish from South America, and it benefits during the wet season. The arapaima can grow up to 10 feet long. And the reason the arapaima benefits during the wet season is because the wet season expands their habitat, allowing them access to flooded forest where they can find abundant food resources. This period is crucial for breeding and nurturing their young. The next fish that benefits from the wet season would be the tambaqui, also known as the black pacu. Known for its powerful jaws and ability to crack nuts, the tambaqui is a popular fish in the Amazon. And the tambaqui benefits from the wet season because the flooded forests provide a rich supply of fruits and seeds, which are essential to the tambaqui's diet and growth. Piranhas also benefit from the wet season. That would include Pygrocentris and Sarasomas piranhas. That would include pacus and silver dollars, although technically not true piranhas. Piranhas are famous for their sharp teeth and schooling behavior. Piranhas are often misunderstood, but they do play an essential role in the ecosystem. And we're going to do an episode of Life in the Amazon on the role piranhas play in the ecosystem. The expansion of water bodies gives piranhas more space to hunt and thrive, finding ample prey among the newly submerged vegetation. The next fish that benefits from the wet season is the electric eel. Known for its ability to generate electric shocks, the electric eel is a fascinating predator. The increased water volume and movement during the wet season helps them hunt more effectively, as they can navigate easily and find prey in the expanded aquatic environment. Corydoras catfish. These small armored catfish are popular in aquariums worldwide. The wet season provides a surge in insect larvae and detritus, which are primarily food sources for Corydoras, supporting their reproduction and survival. And the last fish that benefits from the wet season are discus cichlids. Known for their vibrant colors and circular shape, discus fish are a favorite among aquarium enthusiasts. The expanded habitat and abundant food supply during the wet season support their breeding activities and growth. The wet season is a critical time for these species, offering increased food availability, expanded habitats, and improved breeding conditions. This period plays a key role in maintaining the biodiversity and ecological balance of South America's aquatics ecosystems. And finally, we're going to talk about some of the most popular fish groups from South America. How do catfish, cichlids, and stingrays do during the wet season? Well, here is how catfish, cichlids, and stingrays do during the wet season. The wet season in South America, particularly in the Amazon basin, marks a transformative period for aquatic life. Catfish. Catfish are particularly well suited to the conditions of the wet season. These fish are highly adaptable and take full advantage of the expanded waterways and flooded forest. Migration and feeding. The increased water levels allow catfish to migrate over greater distances, accessing new feeding grounds. The inundation brings a bounty of food, including insects, smaller fish, and plant matter, which catfish repeatedly and readily consume. Reproduction. The wet season is also a prime time for catfish to reproduce. The abundance of food and shelter provided by submerged vegetation offers ideal conditions for spawning and raising young. Cichlids. How do cichlids benefit from the wet season in South America? Now, cichlids are a diverse and colorful fish that thrive in the Amazon's wet season. Many cichlid species take advantage of the wet season's conditions to breed. The flooded areas provide numerous hiding spots for their eggs and fry, protecting them from predators. Territorial expansion. With more space available, cichlids can expand their territories, reducing competition and stress. And dietary opportunities. The influx of nutrients and availability of new prey items during the season supports their diverse diet, which can include algae, small inverts, and detritus. And finally, one of my favorite creatures from the Amazon River, freshwater stingrays. Freshwater stingrays, known for their distinctive round bodies and long tails, also experience changes during the wet season. The expanded water bodies allow stingrays to explore new areas, often diving into flooded forests and savannas. This migration helps them find fresh sources of food, such as crustaceans and small fish. Camouflage and predation. The murky waters of the wet season provide excellent camouflage for stingrays, enabling them to hunt more effectively. And other fish. The wet season impacts a wide variety of fish species behind catfish, cichlids, and stingrays. Archer fish. These fish take advantage of the increased water level to hunt insects above the surface, using their unique ability to shoot water jets to dislodge prey. Piranhas, known for their sharp teeth and powerful jaws, piranhas find the water season ideal feeding conditions on weakened prey and vegetation. We already talked about the electric eels. So those are all of the fish that thrive in the wet season, and that is how catfish, cichlids, stingrays, and other fish do during the wet season. All right, well, this was a fun episode of Life in the Amazon. It was an honor and a pleasure to chat with you about the wet season. I see that we do have one comment in the chat. Let's see what it is. It's from some guy that I have no clue who he is, some guy named Kervin Abreu. And he says, boo. What is there to boo about this show? Well, here is my answer to you not liking this show. There. If you don't like it, don't watch. Simple as that. Anyway, I want to thank everyone for tuning in to this episode of Life in the Amazon. I hope you enjoyed learning about the wet season and all the animals and how it affects the animals. On our next episode of Life in the Amazon, we're going to talk about the Tocantins River and the creatures that live in the Tocantins River. So on the next episode of Life in the Amazon, we're going to start talking about the different rivers from South America and all the creatures that live in said rivers. On our next episode of Life in the Amazon, get ready to learn about the Tocantins River. And with that being said, thank you for watching this episode of Life in the Amazon. If you enjoyed it, please smash that like button and share on social media. Have a great rest of your day, and thank you for watching Life in the Amazon here on the Alex Cardinale Network.